Hello there, welcome to the channel. This video is the first in a series of videos focused on War Thunder's Russian ground tech tree, so get subscribed so you don't miss out on future episodes. This video will look at the BR range 1.0 to 2.0. I will talk about quirks of the Russian tech tree, give brief reviews of the vehicles, and provide some tips and tricks specifically for the BR range. Finally, I'll recommend an order of research and provide tips on setting up your lineups. There is one feature that is common to all Russian ground vehicles in War Thunder: low depression angles for the main gun. This disadvantage is offset by the availability of some of the best armor-piercing, high-explosive ballistic cap rounds available in the game. Russian armor-piercing, high-explosive ballistic cap ammunition has decent penetration rates while maintaining enough high-explosive filler to nearly guarantee a one-hit kill. Russian tanks also tend to have high mobility and good armor. Unfortunately, in this BR bracket, there are few tanks that have very effective armor. Most of the Russian tanks of this tier are armed with the 45mm 20-K cannon. The most effective round for this cannon is the BR-240 armor-piercing high-explosive ballistic cap round, which has sufficient penetration for every common opponent that you are likely to face. Due to the small caliber, the gun has a good rate of fire, but the small size reduces the chance of a one-hit kill. The Russian tech tree has three main tank lines and two support vehicle lines. The first line is the medium tank line. The second, the heavy tanks. The third tank line is the light tank line. The two support vehicle lines are tank destroyers and self-propelled anti-aircraft guns, often called SPAAGs. In the BR bracket that we are focusing on today, there is mostly light tanks in all three of the tank lines. The medium tank line begins with the BT series of light tanks. The BT series of light tanks are all equipped with the 20-K 45mm main gun and are the most mobile tanks at the BR in the Russian tech tree. The BT-5 has slightly better frontal armor than the BT-7, but is slower. The BT-7 and BT-7M are practically the same tank, except that the BT-7M has a better engine, giving it a better acceleration rate. The BT series of tanks is best used as a quick flank and spank vehicle or to get quick early game captures. The next line that we will talk about is the line that will become the heavy tank line at higher tiers. This line begins with the T-26 light tank. The T-26 is armed with the same 20-K cannon as the BT series, but has less armor and is slower. This relegates the T-26 to a backup role, or as a second line gun platform. Next in line is the T-26-4. This is a version of the T-26 armed with the KT-28 76mm short-barreled cannon. This gun has a low penetration rate and velocity, but has 155 grams of TNT filler. This allows the cannon to one-shot anything it can penetrate. Following the T-26-4 was the first medium tank in the Russian tech tree, the T-28 1938 model. The T-28 1938 is armed with the same KT-28 cannon as the T-26-4, but it is far better, it has much better armor, and has better mobility. This allows this tank to be an effective frontline fighter. The third tank line begins with the T-60 light tank. It is armed with a 20mm TN-SH autocannon. This tank is not very good, and I would suggest avoiding it at all costs. Only researching it to get access to the T-70. The T-70 is basically an upgunned T-60, armed with the 20-K cannon. Its armor is pretty effective for a light tank, especially when angled, but the suspension is very bouncy and the turret traverse is very slow. This tank is best used as a second line gun platform. The next two lines are the tank destroyer and self-propelled anti-aircraft gun or SPAAG lines. The first tank destroyer is the Su SPAAG-5-1. It is armed with a 76mm 1902 30 cannon. This cannon is devastating to anything at its BR, having higher penetration and velocity than the KT-28 cannon on the T-26-4 and the T-28. With practically the same amount of TNT filler, the vehicle can only carry 8 rounds however, and due to it being on the T-26 chassis, it is slow. The next tank destroyer of this tier is the Su-76M. The Su-76M is the same concept as the Su-5-1, but on a lengthened T-70 chassis. It is much faster, has better armor, and is armed with the higher velocity ZiS-3 anti-tank gun. Both of these tank destroyers are best played as ambush vehicles. Both SPAAGs are trucks with machine guns mounted on the back. Use whichever you prefer. I personally recommend the GAZ AAA-4M because it has better fire density with 4 7.62mm Maxim machine guns. Veteran players will know that rushing down a single research line is not a very effective way of researching a tech tree. This often leaves vehicles without sufficient backups and can cause poor games where you lose your best vehicle and end up in an underperforming low-tier vehicle. This is, in my opinion, the best way to research rank 1. Start with the Su-5-1, followed by the GAZ AAA M4, then the T-26-4, followed by the BT-7, then the T-28 1939. You may be able to research the rank 2 T-28, which is basically the T-28 1939 but with a more effective gun, and with a battle rating of 1.7 would fit nicely as a medium tank in a 2.0 lineup. If this is not the case, research the T-60, followed by the BT-7M and the T-70. Get the Su-76M, and finally the GAZ AAA Dishka. If you follow this research path, you will have 3 different lineups. A lineup at BR 1.0, a lineup at 1.3, and a lineup at 2.0. Thanks for watching. If you want to know more about a specific vehicle, please leave a comment down below, and remember to subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next episode of the War Thunder Tech Tree Guide, Soviet Edition.